Hello everyone, I'm Slow Rider, this is my world, welcome! Yeah, I'm still out and about on this recce for the social ride. Couple of iffy points so far, but hopefully nothing too disruptive. I'm trying to see it from the point of view of what would my brother do. He's a smidgen more picky about the roads than I am. But again, we're not recording this for that purpose. Oh no. Oh no. I have a different topic to discuss. I would kind of like to do this ride at the speed I would do it on the social ride, just so that I can time it. It should be right, the first leg will be fine. That was terribly taken. Awful, awful. Look at the view. Just look at it. Start looking at it. Join the social ride. Come and see it for yourself. So what is the subject of this video if it's not the social ride, which you should definitely come to on April 27th? Well, about a month ago, give or take, I was in the chat, on the side chat on a live stream from New Biker. And he had a chap on called Kevin Williams, who does safety training and such like for motorcyclists and so on. Almost like advanced training, I think, but he used to also be an instructor for tests and such like. And during that live stream, the subject of the cost of passing your test these days came up, the cost of getting your license. And I, rather cleverly, stuck my head above the parapet and said, the cost of the test is not expensive. The cost of riding schools is. Now, this chap, Kevin Williams, took some exception to that. And I can kind of see his point of view, but it's one of these, if you're in the industry, you see it one way. If you're outside the industry, you see it a different way. It's a instructor-pupil type dynamic, you know? Instructors will see it one way, pupils will see it another. So he comes on and he has a point. His umbrage is running a riding school is expensive. It costs money. You know, there's the cost of the equipment, there's the cost of storing them somewhere, there's the cost of the insurance, or the many types of insurance that apparently you need, which is fair enough. It's not like these costs are unknown to people outside. It's fairly standard in most industries that you need a lot of insurance for stuff. Obviously you've got the fuel and the maintenance and what have you. It all costs money. Excuse me. Oh, no, this is saying straight on. Okay, I didn't choose that way. Interesting. Okay. Thought I did. Is it here? It would appear so. I don't like that. I'm presuming this goes up and meets the same road though. Oh, I really don't like it. No, this ain't staying. Well, this really ain't staying. It comes up and just meets the road that comes up from there anyway. Ugh, no. Changing that. Anyway. That might be my fault. I might set a waypoint there, maybe. So yes, he says basically there's lots of costs, and therefore the running, the cost of lessons is going to be expensive. You know, it's inevitable. So he says, you know, we don't make a killing out of this sort of thing. That's not how it works. We're not loaded. Now there's a relatively small amount of money that we get out of it. To which New Biker says, well, yes, you don't see instructors driving around in Porsches. And he says that, yeah, that's exactly right. Now, the thing is, when I took my test, and bear in mind, I've got 3 bikes now. I can just about afford 3 bikes. Can't really afford any more. I've not got a bad job, salary-wise. My instructor had 5 bikes and a car. But they're not well off. The thing is, people live by their means. So if you get used to living in a certain way, you know, anything you get above that's going to feel great. Anything you get less than that's going to feel bloody awful. It's just that's the way it is. People live by their means. So you think, oh, I haven't got much now, I haven't got much to live on, and yet you might have a far better job than someone else who's, you know, thinking that you're well off, you know. Anyway, so the student perspective is somewhat different to that, because as a student you don't see, oh well, you know, this is a fair amount because he's got insurance to pay and he's got property to keep and so on and so forth. What you see is, I want that many lessons and it's going to cost me that much. But the point I was trying to illustrate, the real point I was trying to illustrate, is more connected to the actual cost of things. So the DVLA set certain costs and the riding school set other costs. For the DVLA, it's your provisional license, the theory test, module 1 and module 2. Your provisional license is going to cost you £34. It has done for, I don't know, at least 8 years, probably 10. The theory test costs you 23 quid. That's been the same for a long time. Module 1, I think, is the one that costs £15, and Module 2 costs £75. So the DVLA costs are less than £150. They were when I took my test 7 years ago and got my licence, I think 8 or 9 years ago. That's what they cost now. They haven't changed. It's not a lot, 150 quid. So what else is there that the riding schools set? Well, you need a CBT, and the DVLA says that riding schools can charge what they want for that. When I did my CBT 8 years ago, it was £125. The same riding school today costs £250 for a CBT. 8 years and the price has doubled. Now, I had to pay for my theory test separately. I didn't have to, I did. And then from the riding school I get 4 lessons, 3 before module 1 and 1 before module 2. 4 lessons plus the lessons, the tests themselves, and obviously that includes hire of the bike and the instructor taking you down there and so on and so forth. So yes, there are costs involved in that beyond the actual cost of the tests. That cost me 7 years ago £700. Today, 7 years later, from the same riding school, it costs £1,400. Now, I realise money isn't the same value as it was 7 or 8 years ago. I realise that there are things that cost more money. I realise that salaries go up and so on and so forth, and insurance has been, well, kind of hellish. I hear that. But effectively what they're saying is that all those costs have more than doubled in 8 years. I can tell you for nothing, my salary hasn't doubled in 8 years. Nowhere near doubled. My insurance costs are actually largely what they were, which is odd considering that over time, I've got rid of the 125 and I've gained a 1050, but the insurance costs are basically as they were. There's not been a huge amount of difference, much to my annoyance. So where has the extra cost come from? And as I say, I get that running a riding school costs money. I get that. I'm not immune to the idea that it's an expensive industry to be in, and there might be hugely expensive costs that I don't know about. Maybe the accreditation is insanely expensive. Maybe. But from a potentially 24-year-old person or younger, from their perspective, £1,400 is a lot of money. And imagine if you've had to get your A1 licence, then your A2, and then your A licence, and you're telling me riding schools are not expensive? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But like I say, I do understand his perspective, because he's looking at it from an industry insider, and yes, these things cost money, and he doesn't make a lot of money out of it, etc, etc. He made a living. The riding school I go to, 8 years ago, it had 3 sites, one of which was relatively small. It now has 4, all of which seem to be doing quite well. All offering what they see as competitive salaries. It's asking a lot to believe that that level of money is only just covering costs. It's asking a lot. What do you guys think? But I mean, am I wrong to think that the actual tests are cheap and it's just riding schools that are expensive? Do you think there's room for manoeuvring in that? Am I wrong to suggest that they're too expensive? Maybe you think that that amount of money is well worth the motorcycle test. Let me know in the comments section. Let me know. Oh, Sprinter's T. Gorgeous bike, wrong colour. Yeah, I think there's a wider discussion to be had about the setup of the tests. I know there's some motions going on. I don't know at what stage and at what level, I don't know, but yeah, talk about change. I'm not that hopeful on that front, but it seems to me that there's got to be a cheaper way of doing things. I don't think someone getting all 3 licenses, A1, A2 and then full A license, I don't think all of them are going to be paying £1,400 each time. But I wouldn't mind betting it gets pretty close to £3,000 or higher once you've gone through the whole lot. I'm just my luck if today is closed. I don't know, looks like it might be open. Till the next video. Be good humans. Ta-ta for now.